Hello and welcome everybody to our webinar today. The topic is Solarweb. Solarweb functions, the most important functions of the Solarweb. I'd like to welcome you this morning here at Fronius. My name is Hans Pelzer. I will guide you through this presentation, which will take about 30 minutes. And beside me is also Anthony Moises. He will answer your questions during this presentation, so feel free. Send your questions and we will answer them immediately and also after this webinar. What points do we have on the agenda today? First, what is required for solar to bring a system in Solarweb or to have all the features of Solarweb? What functions do we offer in Solarweb? So what is our monitoring tool offering you? Then I would like to explain you the most important settings which you should do or can do, and some further information, some additional information where you can get more details. So what is Solarweb basically? It is a visualization tool where we offer you the possibility to show everything of your PV system. It is showing the production as well as the consumption curve on a daily, monthly, and yearly basis. You can also access all energy data from the past, so from the history, of course. So every day will be shown as well here on a daily curve and monthly and yearly curve. We also do analysis of the energy profiles. We do economics. We show you the economics of the system as well as CO2 emission savings. And we can use Solarweb very good to optimize the energy consumption, because with the energy consumption which we see, we know how to react possibly to improve the system. And finally, last but not least, you can do as an installer your remote updates via Solarweb. You can do the configuration of components remotely, so it helps you to avoid customer trips for easy just settings. If you would like to join, just register under www.solarweb.com. You will here find a link to register, and then you have your password, your email address, and your password. With that, you see all your systems which you would like to see. The first page in the visualization, when a system is online, we see the current power on the left-hand side. We see the energy balance in the middle. So what happened during the last 24 hours. We see on the right-hand side the total energy savings, the earnings, CO2 savings, and additional information. And below we see the weather forecast for the next days, as well as a forecast of the consumption of the production of the next days. A picture can also be included, of course, and with that you can see that it's your own system. We offer the same or nearly the same feature as well in the app, the so-called Fronius Solar.web app. Here you see as well the visualization of the live data, actual data, production and consumption, as well battery and grid consumption or grid feed-in. As well, of course, the other features of the hot water, if you have included the on-load, and the EV charger, our Fronius Watt-per-load, can also be displayed here. So this is on the first page, and you have, of course, also the possibility to see the energy balance and earnings and so on the next pages. So this is more or less the tool for the end customer. The Solarweb browser version, desktop version is more for the professional, but also can be used, of course, as well for the end customer. But on the desktop version, you have more detailed and you have all the display in a bigger view. So what types of Solarweb do we offer? Basically, first of all, the Solarweb Basic standard version, free of cost. There is shown all the daily, monthly, yearly consumption and production data. You see easy management of large number of PV systems. So you can have also many PV systems, more than one in Solarweb, and you can see that you can monitor that on the first page. We have automatic notification, also regular reports can be sent, and you can also do a remote updates. If you use the premium version from Solarweb, this is not free of charge, so it is usually an annual payment, 12 months or 24 months, and you pay that in advance, and you have then the possibility to show more detailed the customizable reporting. So we can really do a detailed report of everything you like to have. You have also additional energy balance data available for the extended analysis. You have a permanent overview of the electricity consumption for cost control. So you can really find out how much did you save every day, every month, every year. And also the profitability is, of course, be calculated of an annual basis, as well the extensive weather display and the forecast of the PV production for the next 2 days. So this is all included in the premium version. You can select whatever you like to use. You can start with the basic and also use later on the premium version. So what is needed to do so? Basically, you need a Fronius inverter, can be Gen 24, Taro inverter, or snap inverter with data manager. Of course, the system must be online, connected via LAN or Wi-Fi to your internet router. And additionally, we also recommend you to have a Fronius smart meter, the feeding point, because with that you see the consumption data as well. And this is really important with that for any energy balance data analysis and so on. A smartphone, tablet, or laptop, of course, is necessary for the monitoring of this Solarweb tool. We have also an how-to video, how to bring the system online in Solarweb. This is usually a 3-step, easy to do. So first, you register in Solarweb, then you add a system, you enter the data of the inverter, serial number and V code, and then the system is in Solarweb. Now we look into the most important functions of the Solarweb. There's basically, first of all, the bubble chart, left-hand side you see in the picture. In this picture, you see the energy, the current energy flows. You see the what is produced in yellow. You see what is consumed in blue color. You see the battery SOC value, and you see how much we feed into the grid or how much we consume from the grid. If you click on the consumption bubble, you see as well if you have more smart meter or other on-pilot or watt-pilot in the system, you see also the power which is going to these loads as well. So there can be more loads be displayed when you have also, for example, additionally secondary smart meter for your heating system, for example. So this is the bubble chart. If you go then to the energy balance, which is right next to that, you see daily curve, first of all. So what is produced this day, you see the production, you see in green color, then the energy which goes to the battery, in gray, the color which goes, the energy which goes to the grid. In violet, the color shown here, that's our EV. So we charge our EV in the afternoon in this case. And then we have finally also some red parts. This is our Fronius on-pilot. So here we produce hot water. And in the yellow part below, this is the all other consumption of the household. So which is covered by PV. The other part in the nighttime will be covered from the battery. Usually, if the battery is, of course, be charged. You see also the SOC value. This is the green line. Which goes and will be charged in the morning till about 10 o'clock. And you see also the hot water temperature. When you have a Fronius on-pilot and you have a temperature sensor, you can also display the temperature. So under If you go on the monthly value, you see, for example, a total months. This is September, and you can see also here the same colors. So how much energy goes to the grid, how much to the battery, how much goes to the car, and how much goes to the other consumption. You can see these values from the production side. So when we produce energy and how much do we consume or feed in, and we can see it also from the consumption side. So that means how much is then coming from the grid. Maybe you have additional consumption from the grid, then this will be shown on the consumption part. Of course, you can also go then to the yearly and total values, and then you can see the same thing as well for the whole year and the whole total for the whole years, as long as you have had the system. So the energy balance in a month, you can see when I click on that, I can see as well how much was my own consumption this month, how much was my production this month, and you can see the different colors. As I've shown before, you can see as well the energy balance then for 1 year. So this is from January to December. Production here from Austria, you see January is quite low. The summer months, June, July is higher, and see over the year how it's performing. You can also then see the own consumption for the whole year is 80% in this case, and of course also the autarky will be displayed when you go to consumption. So these values and colors are always the same, and you can always click on the right bar to see the details of this 1 month, for example, as well. So in this red color is, for example, the Fronius Solar.web. So here we produce hot water. The next one is the total. So we see here the system was started in 2019, and you see the years until 2024. You see the production curve has increased because maybe there was an additional PV array. But from year 2022 till 2024, you see improvement of the self-consumption, as well as because there was a battery included, the green part. And therefore, we increase our self-consumption rate as well as our autarky, in this case, 60% own consumption, and of course also a quite high autarky. So quite easy to be seen. When we go back to the home screen, the right-hand side, we see these earnings, and there we have 4 different values to be shown. So we can show the earnings of today, of the whole month, of the year, and in total. And we can see also the CO2 savings in these values. So for today and total. Also the number of how many kilometers I could go with the car with this savings will be displayed. So this is additional information. What is important here, if you would like to see that, you need to set a feed-in tariff and electricity tariff. Otherwise, we cannot calculate that savings, of course, in Europe. But I will show you that later, how you can do that. In the energy balance, you see also under return of investment, you can also calculate or see the profitability of the system. Here we show, in this case, for example, left-hand side, the monthly value. We see how much are the savings in green color and how much is my yield. So what I have got from the feed-in tariff, through the feed-in tariff. So, this energy has been feed into the grid, and I will get some feed-in tariff for that. And therefore, you can see also that in different colors. The right-hand side, you can see also the total values. If I look here on the right-hand side, year 2022, you see the green bar, 750 euros something is my savings. And additionally, another, in this case, about 300 euros something will be shown as the yield. So that is what I've got from the feed-in tariff. So quite easy, simple to see what's going on and how much are my savings or have been my savings in the last year, for example. Also, you can see the expense. So what additionally need to be paid for the electricity, because there will be some rest, of course, for the power which you need to consume from the grid. And that's also shown here in these graphs. So with that, you can find out the actual cost. The gray part, this is the part which you still need to pay for your electricity. This should be, of course, as low as possible. Also, all these can only be displayed in premium, is a premium service, as well as the profitability. And you need also the Fronius smart meter at a feeding point, otherwise this will not work. So of course you cannot display that. Pictured below on the first page was the yield forecast or weather forecast. You can see here the next days weather forecast, and you can see from the next 2 days, today and tomorrow, the expected yield. So the total number, 8.7 for today and 10.6, for example, for tomorrow, 10.6 kilowatt hours. And if you go to the daily graph, you will also see how the weather will be probably, not probably, be looking like. You know, there can be clouds in the morning, and in the afternoon is maybe more sunny, or also your PV array is more orientated to the west, and then you have probably here higher output on the west side, for example. So this is this gives you also a little bit more information about what you can expect for the next 48 hours. Also a premium service. In the standard service, this will not be displayed. Yes, if we then go under the next part, which is report, on the first page, you will find you can create a new report. You can create a report about the PV production, about the energy balance, about the storage system, and customized reports, which are only possible with premium service as well. So you just need to enter here a file format, Excel file, for example, report name, and the generating type, automatically how often you would like to get that, and then it will send this report will be sent to your email address, and you get every month, for example, a report of your PV production. So these was the first more or less settings on the first pages. If you then would like to do some additional special settings, or let's say also the settings which you should do when you enter a new system, then you will find under point settings some additional possibilities. First of all, you should enter on the profile the location, also the system size should be entered here, and also other detailed calculate address of the system. If you have more PV system, more trackers, you can also add here more trackers. Only this was filled in one module field with 180 degrees to south and a 45 tilt angle, and a nominal power of, in this case, 56 kilowatt peak. Yeah, so that's of course depending on your system. You enter all the data here, fill out everything here under profile, first of all. If you have filled in also that, you can also then later on find under analysis, real-time or history, you can do a comparison of more inverters. If you have more inverters in one system, you see under real-time immediately what's going on at the system. So how are the different inverters performing? In this case, we have 5 inverters. 2 are yellow because they are maybe east orientated. The other ones are west orientated. They have a bit more power. They are in green. And there's another one, a Samo hybrid, with it, which is AC coupled. And of course, this one cannot display anything because it's only charging the battery. So it's a bit a special case, but very good easy, simple to see what's going on, and you can compare the different inverters when you have more inverters in one system, and you can easily do the monitoring here. Now, under context, the sixth or images, of course, you can enter. You can do make a photo here and enter here your photo, upload your photo here, and under context, you have then the possibility to enter the email address of basically, first of all, the installer who is installing the system, who should get service messages and or maybe also reports. So here we will have probably two contacts. One is the owner of the system and the other one is the installer who would like to get, of course, also the service messages. Next point on the components. On the components, you can see a list of all the components which are integrated in the system. So there's first the data sources. This is the pilot, or it is the data manager from the snap inverters. It can be also more data sources, more inverters. It is the watt pilot integrated, is the energy meter is integrated, and for example also the ohm pilot and the inverter itself. So there is a different differentiation between inverters and data sources. You know, in the Gen inverter and snap inverters, we have data sources. This is the so-called data logger card or data manager or pilot card, which is also part of the inverter. But this is the part where we are more or less doing our updates. And therefore, when you would like to do an update, you can do that only on a data sources basis. So you can look if there is an update available and then update the system when you click on the button. So this can be done remotely, so you don't need to go to the customer to see that. Also, the respective changes are shown here on the change log. So you see when usually you don't need to update the inverter all time, but if necessary, of course, this can be easily be done from the installer remotely as well as from the owner of the system. So also the product registration is here an important point. Don't forget about that. Finally, that's always also the last point. Under product registration, you will find a link to our web shop where you can get a free warranty extension if available for this inverter, and you probably can also order other like premium service for Solarweb as well, app storage, software, additional software for the inverter can be found here. Now, next point on the permissions, we can enter here the access rights. There are 3 levels available. This is the system owner. Of course, this is the one who is the owner of the system. He has all rights. The other one is the plant supervisor. This is the installer usually. He has all the necessary rights to supervise and monitor the plant, so he can get the service messages. He can also enter here some data. He can also do an update of the inverter and so on. And the guest can only view energy values, so he has no possibility to enter anything, any data here, or to read out the detailed service messages. He can only see what's going on at the moment and from the energy balance. You as installer, you should have the supervisor rights, and the owner should have the owner rights. This is always important, but it can be more people who are invited to this. The next part is the tariffs. Under tariffs, you can enter the energy tariffs, the electricity tariffs. On the one hand side, the data from the feed-in tariff and also the data from the electricity tariff. You can enter that with just add, and then go from a certain date, from what date this tariff is valid until, it will be probably valid until the end of the year, for example. Then you enter the tariff for this year. Also the same with the feed-in tariff. If you know your feed-in tariff is constant for the whole year, then you enter here the data until end of this year. This is important. With that, you can do all the calculations, profitability calculations, which have been shown before. Yeah, the next one is the service messages activation. Under service messages and activation, you can also enter here additionally service messages which you would like to get. For example, a blackout time span, a blackout battery blackout time span, or inverter blackout time span. So this is actually the message which you must get when the inverter is not running, for example, for a certain time, let's say 24 hours, no production, then you will get a message. Or the battery is off, then you will also get a message after a certain period. Blackout means there is no energy supply, then you will also get here a message as long as the internet connection works, of course. So this can be set here in advance, usually not always necessary, but sometimes good to do. Under service messages, you will find then as well all the service messages which are have been happening for the last period. So all net notifications are stored here, and you can click on the on this button here on the service messages, and you can see probably what could be the cause of this problem. Also, don't forget probably to enter here the different values of service messages. There are errors and warnings and information. I would recommend you just to use the errors because the other values are not really important. You know, you can get a warning, but this is very often just information which is not really needs no action. So on the error, if an error will come more often and you have also interruptions in your production, for example, then of course you need to set an action as a call your installer, or the installer needs to do maybe analysis of the system, a troubleshooting, what's going on there. Yes, last but not least, the change owner button. This is only shown for the owner of the system. When you have an owner, for example, or when you as an installer do a first registration of a system and you get all your data in your system first, you enter all your data, you can then change the owner and give the rights to the real owner of the system, because he has probably no Solarweb account for the start. Then you can do that on your account, and then finally change the owner and give the rights, all the rights, the user rights, transfer them to the end customer who is owning the system. So this is only for the owners to be shown. Also delete. You can also delete a Solarweb account. This is also only possible for the owner of a system. Nobody else can do that. Good. Then we come to the summary and further information. Basically, what you need to do is create your Solarweb account, go to solarweb.com, add a PV system in your account. So with the serial number and the V code of the inverter, when it's a Gen 24, a Tauro Verto inverter, enter the plant name and data logger ID or V code, what I've shown you, and then the system is successfully added. What you can do with that, you can see all your energy consumption data, you can analyze all the data, you have a remote troubleshooting feature, you can do remote updates, you have automatic service messages, and optimized technical support. So this is especially for all you installers to have this system in Solarweb, because this gives you the possibility to avoid customer trips when probably it's only a small thing and you don't need to go in real time. So it is really a good help for every installer to make your job easier. Then more information and support. We will send you the recording tomorrow. You will get find more information on our homepage www.fronius.com. Also, the link below gives you more data about our digital tools. So if you go on this QR link, you will find more information about that from our webpage. And of course, we offer additional trainings and online trainings and webinars and how-to videos. And this is, I think, really important now. We have a link down below where you can find a how-to video about Solarweb registration, how to bring a system online in Solarweb. And that's explained in a few minutes, how-to video on YouTube. So feel free to use this video and watch this video, and you will see it is very easy to do. Good, that was it from me, and I would now like to go to your questions. Okay, I see there is no question so far, but I will continue to answer your questions in writing, or if you send them the next minutes, feel free to use the time. Thank you very much for your participation, and have a good day. Goodbye. See you soon here at Fronius. Goodbye.